Welcome to the Energy Saving Trust online learning tool. In this video, we're looking at the basics of wall insulation. We'll cover how to identify the different types of wall construction, the different solutions to insulate those types of walls, and the benefits associated with them. There are two main types of wall construction in UK properties, solid walls and cavity walls, and the two are dealt with quite differently. Cavity walls consist of two layers of brickwork, an inner layer and an outer layer, separated by at least a 50mm air gap, whereas solid walls consist of one solid layer of brickwork. Where the brickwork is visible on the outside of a home, it's easy to distinguish between cavity walls and solid walls by looking at the brick pattern. Cavity walls have a regular pattern where the bricks are all laid lengthways. Solid walls have bricks laid in a pattern alternating between lengthways and sideways. If the brickwork has been covered, you can normally tell which type of wall a house has by measuring its width. If it's more than 260mm, it probably has a cavity. Anything less is likely to be of solid wall construction. Before giving any advice on wall insulation, you need to know what type of walls their home has, and you can use these techniques with the customer to find out. As a final backup, you can look at the age of the property. As a general rule, homes built between 1920 and 1980 were built with unfilled cavity walls. Homes before this built with solid walls, and after with already filled cavity walls.
Insulating a home's walls can be perceived as quite a daunting and complex job, and that can put some people off. As such, it's even more important you know all your key facts and benefits really well, so you can answer all their questions, allay any fears they might have, and convince them it's a really good idea to do.
The solution to insulate cavity walls is to fill the air gap with insulation. To do this, an installer drills small holes in the outer brick layer from the outside of your home. With specially designed equipment, they then blow insulation through the holes into the air gap cavity until it is completely filled. Once that's been done, the holes in the brickwork are covered over, so you'll barely even notice them. If you're unsure whether cavity walls have been filled or not though, the place to look is 3 rows of brick down under a windowsill. Cavity wall insulation should only be done by an accredited professional, and grants and discounts of at least 50% of the typical cost are available for all. Some may even be eligible to have the work completed free of charge. For more information, complete the grants training module. Let's have a look now at solid wall insulation. For an uninsulated home with solid walls, around 45% of heat loss is through the walls, meaning the savings to be made are even bigger than for cavity wall insulation. Solid wall insulation will make your home feel more cosy and can reduce damp. Internal and external wall insulation solutions are available depending on the home itself, other planned works, and the preference of the homeowner. Internal wall insulation can take the form of either building a stud wall or by fixing rigid insulation boards. Now, either can be done by a professional installer, or if you're a highly skilled DIYer, you can have a go yourself. The advantages of internal wall insulation are that it can be fitted room by room. You don't have to do your whole house at once. It's generally cheaper than external wall insulation. It should also be considered that it will slightly reduce the floor area where it's installed. Any fixtures or fittings on walls to be insulated, such as cupboards, door frames, radiators and light switches, will need to be removed and replaced. For this reason, it's ideal for where renovation and replastering is being done anyway, as it will cut overall time and costs. When talking to customers interested in internal wall insulation, it's important not to hide these features. At the same time, a balanced viewpoint should be given, with a focus on finding the solution to the problem they're trying to solve. As the name suggests, external wall insulation is fitted to the outside of a property and should only be done so by a qualified professional. It's done by fitting a layer of insulation material to the walls with mechanical fixings and adhesive, and then covered with a special type of render or cladding. The final appearance can then be finished in whatever style suits. Smooth, textured, panelled or even a brickwork finish. Again, more technical details are available on the Energy Saving Trust website. The advantages of external insulation are that it doesn't disrupt the inside of a home or the size of the rooms. It renews the appearance of outer walls and protects the brickwork. It fills over gaps or cracks in the brickwork, reducing drafts. It's ideal for saving time and costs if planning any outer wall refurbishment. Other considerations are that it costs a considerable amount, more than internal wall insulation. Planning permission may also be required, so it's best to check with the council before any work is started. Grants are available in some areas of the UK to help towards the costs of solid wall insulation, so make sure you check on that. And as with any large works, it's advised to get at least 3 quotes from different installers. For both cavity wall and solid wall insulation, it's important to check with the customer for any existing problems related to the walls, such as excessive damp and condensation, or even any structural issues, as these will need to be rectified before installing insulation. So we've looked at the basics of cavity wall insulation and internal and external wall insulation for solid walls. Because it's an area of such high energy saving potential, it should be one of the first things you discuss with most customers. And remember, you could be saving them hundreds of pounds a year off their bills, so feel good about that. For more technical and detailed information, you can either check out your advisor fact sheets or go to the Energy Saving Trust website.